and welcome to my crazy space. So, it's been about a year of me socially transitioning, and it's been really hard. So, the benefits for social transition is I got to cut my hair, which has caused me a lot of dysphoria, and it really helped. And I found out who was really understanding of it. So I was not expecting my sister, one of them, to be so supportive. She's supportive of me in every way, but I just didn't expect it. I was really surprised when she turned out to be a massive trans ally, when I shouldn't have been surprised at all because she's not very judgmental. She's lovely. Her name's Grace. Obviously, she's massive Christian, her name's Grace. It's pretty good. When I sing Amazing Grace, I sing it for her sometimes. I don't know why I'm saying this, but basically, yeah, she was really supportive. My other sisters took a little longer, but it's okay. They're not transphobic. They were just, I don't know. It just was difficult. Because even though they weren't against me, they weren't really. They didn't make it go out of their way to let me know that they supported me, but that's just, my family is just my family, and we don't always talk to each other. We're not as close as we used to be. I don't know. Yeah, my dad, who really didn't get it at first, he was really upset because he originally named me my dead name, which I'm just going to say it because it's on this channel, everybody knows it anyway, Vanessa. I just dead named myself, oh dear, doesn't feel good. But basically, he named me that, and he was really upset when I chose to change it to Kit. But he's signing Christmas cards with my new name now, which is really cute. So that makes me happy. Social transition has a lot of benefits because, first of all, it's the way to go if you're not sure you're trans yet, or it's quite funny, if you have any dysphoria at all and you're wanting to be the opposite sex sometimes or all the time, you're probably trans, but it really helps you make sure in your mind. Just checking it's still recording, yes. Really helps you make sure, and I wasn't sure if I was non-binary or a trans man, but I was pretty sure I was non-binary. I was 80% sure, but when I socially transitioned, it really helped me be 100% sure, because I still wear really effeminate clothes, I still dress femme, I'm comfortable with that. I want to be like a boy in a dress, but I consider myself what they call gender fawn. And gender fawn means that you are non-binary, you can be anywhere on the spectrum, but you don't ever feel like a woman. So that makes sense to me, because I feel like a man sometimes, or almost a man sometimes, and sometimes I feel like I don't want a gender at all, sort of on the agender spectrum. Other times I feel femme, but I want to be a femme boy, so it makes sense to me. My boyfriend was really supportive, which we weren't dating then, but I came out to him and he helped me out when I was really struggling, and then I realised that I really trusted him, and then I ended up starting to date him shortly after, because we thought we'd give it a go, just hang out as friends for a month or so, and then we really got along, so we started dating. But the fact that he was the only one who used the they them pronoun, what was it? There, the they them pronoun at first, I couldn't I don't know, I needed his help, and it was good. And absolutely everybody practically calls me she still, but I get massive euphoria when James's mum says that people think I'm a boy most of the time before I speak, so consider going on testosterone in the future, because it might lower my voice slightly, but I might just need to voice train. So if you don't know what voice training is, It's when you practice speaking in a lower or higher register to appear one gender or the other. I'm pretty sure that's my understanding of it, because I've seen like YouTubers like Steph Sanyati talk about voice training, and that's practically what it is. It's about training your voice to emulate the tones of the other gender or the gender that you want to be or whatever. And yeah, I was thinking of trying it. I can talk like this, but I get really excited and I'm like, oh, hello! I just consider myself very camp at this point, and it's difficult. Yeah, so a whole year of being trans, it's been a wild ride. A lot of people still call me she, but as long as they acknowledge I'm non binary and are okay with me being in their space, I'm not going to argue. But it does bother me slightly because sometimes I feel very dysphoric out of nowhere, and I think it is because people don't get the pronouns most of the time. Even when I wear this, even when I've lined my chest, even when I've cut my hair, even when I've told them I'm non-binary, that cis people just often don't get it. It's ridiculous to the point where I'm like, are you so unobservant? Are you blind? Is there something wrong with you? But like literally, you think at this point I'm thinking, has half their brain been damaged? Because to me, it doesn't make sense to people not to get it at this point after so long. But also, I understand that people just don't use most of their brain half the time. I'm one of those people. I just switch my brain off and go about my day. And I think for someone who's not grown up with it or um, not trans themselves, doesn't know a trans person, like I think it is really difficult, which is why my boyfriend has said, James has said that I should ask people to call me he rather than they, because people like argue about it, don't they? They're like, oh, they isn't grammatically correct, I don't want to use it, which is borderline transphobic. You can either be confused, genuinely confused, or just using it as an excuse. And a lot of people just really annoy me saying that, but at the same time, I do understand it because they've grown up their whole lives with he and she. That's all they know. I get it. It's just really difficult. It's mainly like some people genuinely get really upset when they misgender me and I explain I'm non-binary. So it's the awkwardness, because like if there's someone like James's auntie Fiona is lovely, and there's this point where I was explaining, oh, could you please call me this because it made me more comfy, because and she was like, she looked really worried and stressed, and she's like, I'm really sorry, I don't think I'll get it most of the time, and she felt really bad. And I just said, look, it's fine, because when she calls me like things like baby girl and cute things like that, I love it. It's said with affection. It isn't. They know I'm not a woman, so it's not like they're being mean. So I've just got to accept it. There's a lot of these things that happen. I see a lot of trans people get angry at cis people for getting it wrong. And to be fair, like, dysphoria is a beast. If you're getting angry, that's fair enough. I get angry too, but in my personally, I just think if they're trying to meet you halfway, it's like a process. That's the whole point. It takes a long time, and you've just got to be patient, and it's almost impossible at times, but I'd try and choke it down, because you'll burn every bridge if you're not careful, and then like there'll be no chance at like educating them, because nobody wants to learn from someone who's just correcting them meanly all the time. Although I understand that a lot of trans people either lose their lives or can just feel like crap all the time because they're getting misgendered. So it's a slippery slope. Sorry, not a slippery slope. It's a difficult situation in general. It's just really difficult. It just, no, not good. But if they're nice people, they will want to try, and it's important to know that some people will never be able to. Like James's grandma is quite old. She can't even remember if she's at her toast in the morning or porridge, is it? Yeah, her porridge in the morning. And like she calls me she, and I'm okay with that, because she doesn't care that I'm trans, doesn't care that I'm, gay, doesn't care. She loves me to bits and I love her back. She's adorable. But it's just really difficult. So you've got to realise who can do it, who can't, and just try and help the people feel at ease who are uncomfortable because they don't want to misgender you, and eventually they'll probably learn and correct themselves. And if they don't correct themselves, then they either forget, or you can correct them if you feel like they're not going to get upset. My sister really finds it hard. She calls me she a lot. I've asked her to call me he because I feel more comfortable with that than she. But whatever, we're seeing how it goes. Andrew and Grace are so supportive. They follow this channel, so hello. Hello there. I hope you're having a good Christmas, because I won't be able to see you this Christmas because we're all like separated. One of my sisters has COVID. Grace has just had COVID. It's been awful, but she's okay, I think. Might video call her later. Yeah, so yeah, it's a process, and you've got to give people time to catch up. There's still people who say, oh, hello, dead name, and I'm like, that's not my name anymore. And I was quite cruel one day by accident when someone who I'd told about 3 times that I was non-binary and wasn't called that anymore called me that, and then I just automatically went, that's not my name. And I felt bad, and I apologised after when I saw her next. Look, no hard feelings, I just reacted that way because it's not my name now and I couldn't stop it. It just fell out my mouth because it just seemed, I didn't want to sound like I was being mean, being a bit too, like I was angry. I wasn't, I just automatically said that. But she was okay, and she never called me that again. So it worked. But like, it's a slow process, and it does like eventually catch on. But I misgendered one of my friends. I mean, I wouldn't say we're close, but we went to Comic-Con together years ago as Crowley and Aziraphale, and I think I've mentioned it on my channel. And we had a great time. We were both like dressed as male people, and they are now called Dorian, but I called them their old name. And yeah, I'm really sorry I called them that on this channel. I'm really sorry, Dorian. They're okay with me now, but like, it was just a bit of a stressful thing because their friend were like angry on their behalf, and then I ended up explaining, oh, I'll never call them that again, I'm sorry. And this was before I came out. I understood it a little bit. I was a bit afraid of like making trans people angry or upset, because I think from someone who used to be cis or thought they were cis, it can be quite scary engaging with people who are trans when you don't understand it, because you don't want to upset them, you want to be supportive, and you don't quite understand it. So I think the important thing is to remember what other people are like from the other side of it, and just think like, what impression do you want them to have of trans people? Do you want them to think that we're all angry people who are going to shout at them if they get it wrong? Or do we want them to be nice to us and take their time to learn and work with us to get along? Because I just don't want to give like a bad impression. Like, I'm pan-romantic, and I don't want people to think that like I'm just gonna sleep with anybody, which I'm demi anyway, but it doesn't really matter. The point is, you don't want to confuse people. You just explain that it means I could fall in love with anybody, but I'm still monogamous and everything, yeah, not that there's anything wrong with polyamory, or what's the other name for it? I don't remember the other name for polyamory. But yeah, you do you, man. Yeah, so social transitioning for a year has been good because a lot of people have started calling me Kit. Almost everybody does. I've managed to change my name at my doctor's, 2 of my hospitals, because I go to a lot of hospital appointments. Actually 3 of my hospitals that I go to. Blah, blah, blah. My uni, which was a big deal, they actually put my dead name on the class register, and I'm pretty sure my lecturer did that by accident, and I just crossed it out and then went to Maria, oh, there's been a glitch, they put my old name on the register, and I just crossed it out and put my name, and she just sort of sorted it without mentioning it ever again, which is amazing, because like, I just didn't want to embarrass her if it was her that had written it. I didn't know, I just still don't know, but I just wanted to like do it in a sort of like chill way and see, like, not anyone's fault, just whatever's happened, just please get rid of it. But I didn't need to say that, she just did it. It was good. So yeah, everything's been getting better, but also the dysphoria is a beast. and I'm never going to look the way I want to look. And I'm getting older, so obviously I'm not going to look the same anyway, so I don't know. I'm confused. But clothing is a big deal. I'm getting more clothes that make me feel comfortable. I'm realising that I just want to dress like someone who looks genderless and perhaps very queer, and then I'm happy. I don't actually need a gender in mind, it's just the hair helps. As soon as it gets a bit long, I'm like, cut it all off. So I don't know what I'm meant to do to try and grow it out, because I did like having long hair, like around here, but I don't know what to do, because every time it gets long, I'm like, goodbye hair, must get rid. So one day I'm just going to shave the whole thing off, and James will have a fit, because he can't cope with change as well as, well, I can't either. We're both like the same, two peas in a pod when it comes to that. But he doesn't like me cutting my hair much. Yeah. I'm not sure what else to say in this video. It's been like a long time, so I'm just going to edit now. And I hope you're all okay, and I hope you have a good Christmas. And I hope you learned something about social transitioning. Most of this video is just talking about how to navigate not ruining everything with your relationships after coming out, but it's very difficult and it is an individual process. I find that if you're already neurodivergent and queer, you've got a lot of friends who are the same, so you're not going to lose all your friends. I wouldn't panic if you're anything like similar to my situation. Yeah, so I hope you have a good Christmas, and bye bye.